So I chose to kind of trust the flights, and I'm might be regretting that decision right now. We'll see. I'm still confident that I can do all of this without the client knowing anything was wrong, because I still believe that I can be there by 4. Because I still believe I can be there by 4, and we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Tough trip.
Okay, here's everything that I packed for my 2-day trip to Boston or Cape Cod to do a wedding. Okay, starting off in the back, we have my DJ bag. DJ that I hired to help me out does not have a Serato controller, so I'll be bringing my Pioneer DJAXCESS2. My choice for the best beginner controller if you are on Serato. It does laptop powered, has all the outputs that you need, still has the 16 pads, and it's just a great little mixer. Obviously toiletries, undergarments, shoes, all that. I am bringing a tripod with me so I can get some good content for you all. White dress shirt, tie, reversible belt, shirt stays or overalls, whatever you want to call them, and my suit. And I got this cool little travel bag here. I found one on Amazon for $40. Not sure what the durability is going to be like, but it looks good and it's going to fit all this stuff. I didn't want to spend $120 for something I'm going to use, only a few times a year. If I use it more, maybe I'll get a nicer one, but hopefully this one works for the time being. We are here at John Glenn International Airport. For those who've been following the channel, you'll know I was here performing just a couple weeks back. So here for a flight today to Cape Cod to DJ a wedding, and we're going to fly to LaGuardia and then to Boston. And one thing I forgot to mention when I was showing you everything I packed for this trip was I actually have 4 air tags, and this is new for me. For those of you who don't know, air tags are basically like Find My iPhone, but just in the form of a tag. So I have one on my set of keys and then one for each bag that I brought. I just checked my DJ controller, that has an air tag. I have one in my DJ backpack, which goes with me everywhere, and one in my DJ duffel, which has my suit, toiletries, and everything else that I should need for this trip. So I just wanted to mention that. Who knows, if something gets lost, maybe having an AirTag can help the airport figure out where my stuff is, and hopefully prevent people from stealing my stuff. So I just wanted to update you on that. I'm gonna do some more filming and update you when I get to Boston. Welcome back, everybody. I am here at the Comfort Inn and Suites in Boston, right by the airport. I decided to get a location right by the airport because, spoiler alert, we have a 5:45 a.m. flight tomorrow right back to Columbus for another wedding that we have to do. Luckily, I have an assistant ready in case anything happens with my flight, but I'm confident that I'll be able to make it back with plenty of time and be able to do the wedding tomorrow. The last thing you probably saw from me was me talking about how I'm using AirTags now. Well, about 5 minutes after that video, I got a notification that my flight to LaGuardia was delayed by 90 minutes, which means I was going to miss my connecting flight. Luckily, Delta had a direct flight from Columbus to Boston that I was able to hop on. But where the AirTags come in is I was able to watch my bag go from the baggage storage location all the way onto my plane basically in real time. So that was worth the cost to me. The link is in the description below if you guys want to pick up some AirTags for yourself. I have them on my keys, and then all 3 pieces of luggage that I'll carry with you. Well, 2 pieces of luggage that I typically carry with me, and then also my DJ controller, which was the bag that I checked. So big ups to AirTags. This is the next day. I had a little bit of extra time at the airport, so I worked all at the airport, worked on the plane, and by the time I landed, I just wanted some New England chowder, some lobster mac and cheese, and I passed out. So here we are today. We're getting ready for the wedding, and I woke up at about 8:30. It's 9:20 right now. We're gonna get on the road pretty shortly here because I rented an electric vehicle. Wasn't my choice, it's just the vehicle they had available for me. So I'm gonna charge that up for a half an hour, try to get up to Cape Cod, find some food, and then get to the venue 2 hours before guest arrival. We have Drew from Good Times Entertainment who's gonna meet us there. He should have all the gear set up, and that's the next thing that I wanna talk about. Here is everything that I did to prepare for this destination wedding in Cape Cod. We are at the Coonamessett tonight, and apparently it's a very iconic location on Cape Cod. I looked at their preferred vendors list. I found a DJ who goes there all the time. It's actually a DJ company, and I asked them to be ready to perform the wedding by themselves. So don't ask for a discount, because most likely you're going to be taking care of all the DJ stuff. You want them ready to go in case something happens on your flight, in case something happens to you. You basically need someone there who knows the venue well, has the equipment, and can perform to some kind of level of your service in case something happens to you. So I paid the full rate to Drew at Good Times. They've been great in this pre-process, just checking in. I send them my wedding form so they have all the information, and hopefully when we get there, everything's set up, ready to go. I'm sure there's things that I'll ask Drew to do, and then I'll take care of most of the DJing and MCing. And that makes it really easy for me, because then otherwise it's just like a normal wedding for me, just without setting up equipment. And I can just prepare my scripts, make sure I have the wedding form ready to go, and make sure that I'm prepared with music. We're going to get going a little bit early. Because they rented me an electric vehicle. I've never driven an electric vehicle before. Just from the airport to the hotel was kind of interesting. It seems like as soon as you take your foot off the gas, well, not gas, but take your foot off the accelerator, the car wants to stop. I'm not used to that, and I'm not used to the charging situation. So we're going to get ourselves to a charging location. I heard it takes about a half hour. Make sure we got a full tank, a full battery charge, and then we're going to get out to Cape Cod, shoot some video, eat, and then head to the venue about 2 hours early. I know one of the questions I might be getting is, how do you charge for a destination wedding? And I think that just depends on the DJ. Me personally, I want to take on as many destination events as possible until I feel like it's too much, because I want to be a very accomplished destination wedding DJ. This is something that I want to be known for and have a reputation for doing a great job with. So I need as much experience as possible. So whatever rate you want to make, take that, add on the amount of money that you're going to have to pay to the DJ company to help you out, and then expenses, right? So for me, that was flight, hotel, and rental car, and then food and miscellaneous expenses. So you know how you travel, whether you like expensive dinners, whether you like fast food, what kind of hotels you like to stay in, all that. So add that up, add your rate, and then add the DJ's rate, and that's what you're going to have for a destination event. That being said, you can do it two ways. You can charge the client, say $5,000, and then you eat up all of those costs, or you can say, hey, here's my rate, and then everything, and then I'm going to send you a bill for whatever I spent on the trip. Me personally, I like the upfront costs, and then taking away from your things, that makes you a little bit more honest about what food you're eating, what hotel you stay at, that kind of thing. And the client isn't surprised when they get a bill at the end of their wedding reception when all your travel is done. They paid the fee, they have peace of mind, they can go about planning and enjoying their wedding reception rather than worrying about how much money they're going to have to spend on the back end. It's up to you, but that's the way I like to do it. I think that's all the video content I want to shoot here. I'm going to get on the road and then meet up with Drew from Good Times Unlimited and see what we got for this wedding. Mike here from the road. We are in a Polestar 2, which I didn't even know existed before yesterday. And we are at a charging station, and it looks like it's going to take about, we were at 50%, and it's saying it's going to take about 35 minutes to charge this thing. So, yeah, wasn't expecting that. I was hoping it'd take like 15 minutes because the guy said it's like a half an hour to charge it all the way. So we gave ourselves a ton of time. I don't know why I'm sounding so sad here, but just want to get on the road and get to where I'm going, get some food, and then do the thing. So always give yourself extra time. All right, so I've been sitting here a while, and I've been playing on my phone, and it kind of gave me another little tidbit or tip. Make sure that you have all your songs downloaded before you leave. I know I've mentioned this in other videos, but I was at the hotel this morning. They had great Wi-Fi. I went on Spotify, downloaded all the songs I would need for the reception, and as I'm sitting here now, trying to scroll on YouTube, I'm realizing that the cell service out here is really bad, and I imagine as I get further out into the ocean on the Cape, it's going to be even worse. So just another tidbit, hopefully that helps out too. All right guys, we made it to the Coonamessett here on Cape Cod, so I'll give you a little scan of the room here. So here's that going on. And then we have two QSC K12s that we're working with today. We have the QSC, looks like CP8, and that's going to be pushed out the window. The ceremony is going to be held right here, and I guess that's how they do it here. Should work just fine. And as you can see, I got the Pioneer DJSR2, travels very well, has everything that I need. And yeah, we still got about 20 more minutes before I need to go get changed. I'm gonna let Drew from Good Times handle the ceremony, and then I'll take over for cocktail hour and the rest of the performance. So stay tuned. I do have to mention that I'm really happy that I booked someone who uses like DJ standard equipment, like QSC. I mean, everyone was using those 10 years ago before the Calmares came out, and they're still great. They didn't change at all. It's just that the look of the Calmares kind of came into fashion, but they still sound great, nice and durable, lasts forever. So great to see QSCs. And then I'm using Shure 58 mics, and if you're a DJ, you know the Shure 58s. That's like the industry standard. So again, just very happy that I booked a company that's using industry standard equipment, stuff that I'm familiar with, and it just makes everything so easy. So right now I can relax and not have to worry about troubleshooting anything. Gosh. All right. It's 1 a.m. I have a 6:30 flight out of Boston into Detroit. So I'm going to tell you what happened tonight. And I just want you to keep in mind that it's raining the whole time. For every part of this story, it's raining. So wedding has about 30 minutes left. And I'm like, all right, wedding's got a half hour left. I'm killing it. Everything's going well. Let me turn the do not disturb off on my phone. Do that, and I have a text from Delta that my 5:45 a.m. flight back to Detroit and then to Columbus is now delayed, making me miss my connecting flight. So I'm like, okay, well, I just need to finish out this wedding, and then I'll just get on the phone with Delta. So I get on the phone with Delta on my drive home. I got about an hour and a half ride home from Cape Cod to my hotel, which is basically the Boston airport. And I'm on hold for the first, I'd say 80% of that drive. So the first hour. And then for the last 20 to 30 minutes, I'm on the phone with Delta trying to get a flight. We find a flight that's going to work, but for some reason it's not letting this CSR, this person's representative, book the flight. So she has to transfer me to a special CSR, like a specializations CSR. So I'm back on hold. I'm on hold for a half hour. I realize that I need to charge my electric vehicle, which I talked about earlier in the video, and I go searching on the ChargePoint app for charge points, right? I find one. Oh, perfect. It's right next to the hotel. Apparently, it's a parking lot for the BMV, and all those spaces are being taken up by not electric vehicles, so all those charge points are out. I find one 2 miles down the road at a hotel. There is a vehicle blocking the charge point. Meanwhile, I'm on hold this whole time, by the way. I'm on hold for the second CSR from Delta the whole time. So I get to the hotel. I try to access the charge point. There's a van in the way. I ask the hotel to move the van. They do. I access the charge part, and it's moving slow. To give you an idea, it said that the estimated time to 90%, not full, but 90%, was 5 p.m. today, because it's 1:03 a.m. right now, and I have a 6:30 flight, which was supposed to be a 5:45 flight. So I realized something's wrong with the charge port. I call. Nope, I'm still on the phone with Delta. I finally get a CSR. I was on the phone for, hour and 49 minutes before I got my flight figured out. So then I call Hertz to tell them that I'm looking for charging ports. Maybe they can recommend one. And basically after 9 minutes on the phone, I basically said, hey, I'm just going to drop the call off early. You have a charging point there. Just please don't charge me. So I have to go to Hertz early to make sure that they don't charge me for not bringing it back full. I will never get an electric vehicle again. So I think I'm getting into Columbus at 1:49 or 1:30 tomorrow, if everything goes well. That should give me literally just enough time to get home, get my van, and get to my gig tomorrow. So wish me luck. I'll let you know how it goes. DJ Access out.
All right, we made it to our gate. I hope I don't look too crazy right now. We were up at, I don't know why I keep saying we. I was up at 4 a.m. and we're here for a 6:30 flight. Let's see what time it is. Made it about 5:06, so we got some time to just chill. We are cutting it extremely close today. So I'd like to be at my wedding today at 3 p.m. and we are getting into Columbus at 1:20. So you figure an hour from the airport to home, and I really just have to grab everything, get in the van, and go. I have an assistant with me today. I'm going to make sure he's ready to go as if I'm not getting there at all. And then if I get there by 3:30, we should be able to set up in time to still have a successful wedding. I'm confident my assistant can do a good job without me. That's why he's on the show with me. But hopefully we'll have to use that. So I'll check in as I can, and we'll see what happens. Okay guys, update. I am in Detroit right now. Side note, Detroit has a great airport. I've flown through it a couple of times, but I actually had to walk through the whole thing because I had to switch terminals. And very good airport, very nice. Anyway, so I'm here, and my flight just got delayed. I don't remember if I said this in the last video. My flight from Boston to Detroit was 6:30 to basically like 8:30, and then I missed my connection, which was also at 8:30, but we got rebooked for a 12:15 flight, and that just got delayed for 30 minutes. So the goal was to get into Columbus at 1:30, 1:20 really, get about an hour to get home, and then a half an hour to pack up, get ready, and then a half an hour to the venue, putting us there at 3:30. It's now looking like it's going to be 4. Guest arrivals at 5. Luckily, we have musicians for the ceremony and cocktail hour, so our only responsibility is mics at the ceremony. So Khalif, my assistant, knows what's up. He's going to be ready with mics for the ceremony. I'm going to come with the rest of the equipment, and we are pretty confident we can set up during cocktail hour. I was weighing all my options last night before I went to bed. I could have flown into Detroit and then drove 3 hours to kind of guarantee that I get there around 11:12. But because my flight was supposed to get in at, I would have gotten in at 1. But because the flight was going to get in at 1:20, I thought renting the car wouldn't be worth it. So that was an option. Flying into Cleveland, Cincinnati, and then driving 2 hours was an option. So I chose to kind of trust the flights, and I'm might be regretting that decision right now. We'll see. I'm still confident that I can do all of this without the client knowing anything was wrong, because I still believe that I can be there by 4. because I still believe I can be there by 4. And we'll see. I'll keep you updated. Tough trip. Woo! Well, guys, we made it. We're about 15 minutes later than we would normally get here to set up. I was able to get out of the airport pretty quickly, and all my stuff was ready for me. So pat on the back for me for being ready to go and kind of planning ahead for that. So yeah, let's go do this thing. Happy to report that everything is done. We made it. 30 minutes to spare. I have 10 minutes to do nothing before I go change. Got musicians for ceremony, and all I have to do is set up microphones. So thanks for being along for the journey. Hopefully there'll be some photos of, or pictures and video of people going crazy. Later. Yo, what up, guys? I'm just finishing up editing the video, and I'm thinking about conversations I've had, mom, friends, other DJs, about what happened this weekend, and a lot of them are like, oh, I'll bet you'll never do that again. And no, I will do that again, because everyone's like, oh, you cut it so close, you cut it so close. I didn't cut it close. Every flight I had was delayed. I missed both of my connections, and I only got to the gig 15 minutes later than I would have. I took my time at home. I took my time getting everywhere driving. I had an assistant ready to go for the ceremony. Honestly, it could have gone worse. I could have gotten in 2 hours later, and I still don't think the client would have known, or I wouldn't have affected my performance at all. And so that's with, almost everything going wrong. And for those people like, well, what if your flight from Boston got canceled? I was prepared to buy new plane tickets on different airlines. I was prepared to drive from Cincinnati, Cleveland, Detroit. I was gonna make it to this wedding. And for those of you like, well, what if, what if weather hit Boston? You couldn't get out of Boston. You could say that about any wedding, anytime. Weather could hit Columbus and disrupt me for a wedding that's 20 minutes away. So yes, I'm going to keep doing stuff like this. I feel like I was prepared. Things went wrong, and from the electric vehicle to the flights, to a lot of things went wrong, and I was still able to deliver a great product, and these were two of the best weddings I've had all year. So yes, I'm going to keep doing this, and this is what travel DJs deal with, and this is what I want to do moving forward. This is what I've done, and that's why I had the experience to know what I needed to prepare for. So I'm going to keep doing this, and if this isn't for you, I get it, that's fine. But for those of us who want to do destination and travel weddings, this is what we got to deal with, and we're prepared. Hey guys, we are having a ton of fun in there. I just want to say thank you for watching the vlog and following me on this journey, and we'll be back with the next one. More tips, more helpful videos, more travel fiascos right here on the channel. Peace. I'm out.